When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
Welcome to Accelerate Your Business Growth, where we're exploring all sorts of business topics. Experts from around the world join me, your host, Diane Helbig, for a conversation where they share their expertise with all of you. Take what you need when you need it. Featured on Inc.com, Forbes, and MSNBC's Your Business, this podcast is recognized as one of the best podcasts for small business, sales, leadership, social media, and more. When it comes to business, Accelerate Your Business Growth has got it covered. And now on with the show. My guest today is James Hipkin. James is an accomplished, forward-thinking marketing professional. With over 40 years in marketing and advertising, he has had clients including Sprint, Apple, Wells Fargo Online Bank, Nestle, and Toyota. Since 2010, James has built his clients' businesses with digital marketing. Thanks so much for being here today, James.
Hey, Diane, it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Well, I am too. We're going to be talking about engaging website visitors, and I feel like this is this huge unknown for small business owners and small businesses just in general and their marketing teams. You hear all sorts of things, not really sure what to do. Most don't engage effectively. So I think this is a great topic, and I'm going to start by asking you, what website mistakes do you see frequently?
Well, the most common problem I see when I audit websites and, frankly, digital marketing programs is an absence of strategy.
Yeah.
It can range from the business owner is trying to do it themselves and they're just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
Or they've gotten to the point where it's, well, I'm going to hire a marketing VA or a small boutique marketing agency to help me with this. And the business owner is very good at what they do, but they're not marketers.
Yeah. Right.
And they hire a little digital marketing agency or a marketing VA, and they're probably better at executing than the business owner is going to be, but they're not strategic either. And that missing piece is the absence of strategy. And more often than not, what's happening is the business owner is standing on the top of their building, shouting at the world at large about how awesome they are.
Yeah, right. Okay. So how do they create a strategy?
You create a strategy by stop being what I call inside out, where you're standing on the top of your building shouting, and start being outside in, which is where you reach out to your customers and you really understand who they are. What are they like demographically? What are their characteristics? What are they like as people? What is the pain that they're dealing with, the challenges, the things they're trying to solve? And then what is the gain that they're going to get from working with you? That customer avatar really helps you craft and bring strategy to your messaging, because you not only know who you're talking to, demographics help you with media selection. If your audience is over 60 and male, chances are TikTok's a waste of your time. I don't care what your nephew said. Characteristics help you understand how to these people. Are they self-confident? Are they insecure? Are they, well-educated? Are they, curious? These characteristics really help inform how you talk to them. And then the pain is, don't talk about yourself. Lead with their problem. There's a famous copywriting framework called PASS. PASS is an acronym for problem, agitate the problem, solve the problem. And you'll notice when I described the avatar, I went through demographics, characteristics, pain, and then gain. Same structure. And yet so many websites that I see, the hero section is, we have been in business for 12 years. Right? That's inside out.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas, a better headline might be, are you struggling for a CPA firm, for example?
Yeah.
Are you struggling with profitability? Take advantage of our experience to help you find the profitability you're looking for.
Okay.
I've said exactly the same thing, but the first one was inside out. The second one was outside in.
Right. Okay.
And when you lead with the problem, you engage visitors. You engage because they're there on their journey. So you want to engage them by resonating with what's in their head in terms of the problems they're trying to solve.
And how do you keep them on your website?
Well, I'll tell you, there's 6 ways to engage a website visitor in 6 seconds or less.
Okay.
And, 6 seconds isn't a lot of seconds. And the first way may surprise you. It's nothing to do, it has everything to do with the website, but nothing to do with what people see. The 6 seconds doesn't start when the page has loaded. The 6 seconds starts when the page is asked for.
Oh.
Page load speed is really important. I've seen statistics that suggest that 40% of visitors will abandon the search if the page takes more than 3 seconds to load.
Yeah, I could see that.
You want that page to be your homepage to load in a second or less.
Okay.
So page load speed is the first way. And page load speed is also a trust event. When somebody the website they've asked for loads really, really quickly and sharply, it's not something they're consciously thinking about, but it's the impression they're leaving as, well, these people are professional. As opposed to, it takes 3 or 4 seconds to load, and they're using this time to start wondering, well, this is taking a long time. Why is this taking a long time? Are these people really, are they top notch? Are they professional? Suddenly they're asking themselves all of these questions. So page load speed is the first thing, a second or less, and it is a trust event. The second is reassure folks that they're in the right place. If they're looking for Diane Helbig, for example, and they get to a website and there's this wonderfully designed logo in the upper left-hand corner and this company name that they've never heard of, and there's no mention of Diane Helbig anywhere in the homepage, in the area above the fold on the homepage, they're suddenly thinking about, is this where I'm supposed to be? Am I in the right place? And you don't want them thinking about that. You want them to instantly and instinctively recognize, yes, this is what I'm looking for. This is around naming. This is around colors. Don't use a color palette consistently. If you're using pinks and greens in social media, you need to be using pinks and greens on your website. Right? Use fonts consistently. A lot of this stuff is subtle, but it does make a difference. If you're using Roboto it's a very common web font on your website, you use Roboto for your headlines in social media. Make sure that everybody instantly and instinctively thinks to themselves, this is another trust event. You're supporting the journey that people are on versus creating dissonance and friction.
Wow.
The third thing is what we talked about a minute ago, the outside in versus inside out. Give them a benefit-oriented reason to stay. That's lead with their problem, then present your solution, and then give them reasons to believe that your solution is valid. That's where testimonials get involved. Don't bury your testimonials in a carousel at the bottom of the homepage. Nobody looks at them. Nobody gets there. You want testimonials and company logos that you've worked with, whatever might be appropriate. I have a client who's a business coach, and he works with the C-suites of large corporations. One of his clients is Apple. He has permission to use the Apple logo on his website. Do you know how hard that is to get? If you see the Apple logo in conjunction with this guy, you're going to go, well, he's credible.
Sure.
Okay. So benefit-oriented reason to stay. Then make their pathway clear. Now, this is a bit controversial. I'm trying to tell people, I'm on my little Don Quixote soapbox here. I want people to stop saying call to action. And when I say that, usually people are like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I've spent my whole life being told I need to have a call to action.
Yeah.
I want you to stop saying call to action. And what I want you to start thinking about is I'm thinking in terms of creating pathways. People like you pathways. Most businesses have 2 or 3 subsegments that represent the majority of their business. Create people like you call-outs to those subsegments to invite them along a pathway so that there's a headline, a picture that they can instantly recognize as, yes, that's who I am. Maybe a sentence or 2 that speaks to the benefits, and then a learn more button. Now, effectively, they're exactly the same thing.
Sure.
Call to action,
Sure.
pathway. But the mindset shift is really important. A call to action is a marketer shouting at a customer and telling them what to do.
Right.
People don't want to be shouted at.
No.
They don't want to be told what to do.
Right.
A pathway is an invitation to follow and a supporting, I'm supporting your journey. Follow this pathway. And when they choose that pathway, 2 very powerful and profound things have happened. They've told you exactly who they are, and they've given you permission to give them more information. Who wouldn't want that? And yet I don't see it. I see everything the business owners ever thought about is regurgitated on their homepage, and the poor consumer is supposed to sort through all of this and figure out what it is that's relevant to them and what's not.
Yeah, it is absolutely true. It makes perfect sense, when you say it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me ask you about the hub and spoke digital marketing strategy. What is that?
Well, that's recognizing that in the digital world, your website is their first and oftentimes only point of contact with you. And that, if you think about a wheel, and you've got a hub and you've got spokes and you've got the rim. Well, individually, they're nice, but they don't have much value. The power comes from the connections. You connect the hub to the spokes and the spokes to the rim, and you have the wheel. The most profound invention in mankind's history ranks right up there with fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet, what I'm seeing, and again, this circles back to the earlier conversation around absence of strategy, there's no connective tissue.
Yeah.
You want to be using your website as the hub. Information and value needs to radiate out from the website through the various spokes, which are the media channels that you're using to reach your audience. And then your content and messaging strategy, which is customer based, is the rim that holds it all together. And when you think about it this way, you stop getting a whole lot of disparate noise and you start getting a cohesive presentation of your business online that your ideal customer can resonate with and appreciate. And then they've got a pathway back to your website where they're going to get even more value. And you're using your website to generate value and send it back out to customers, blog posts that you're sharing via email, social summaries of blog posts that you might be sharing, or pro tips from the blog that you're sharing in social media. There's all sorts of ways that things can oscillate back and forth, but it's that connective tissue that makes the difference. And it's what is the underwriting. I use the hub and spoke as the wheel as an analogy to get people to understand that it's not about the things, it's about the connections.
Right. Right. So if someone's listening and they are a small business owner, they don't have a marketing team, whatever, and they're listening to this and they're thinking, okay, makes sense to me, but I don't even know where to start. What would you suggest?
Well, I'd suggest, and this is a bit shocking, pick up the phone and call customers.
No one does that.
Find out what's in their head. Find out what they're thinking. Craft an avatar of your best customer that, answers the questions in those 4 quadrants. What are they like demographically? What are their characteristics? What are they like as people? What is their pain? What are they struggling to overcome? And then what is their gain from working with you? Just document that. And then the second piece of it, and the piece that's, a lot of people might have an avatar, or sometimes it's called a persona.
Mm-hmm.
But the second piece is equally important and almost always missing, and that's map the buyer's journey.
Huge.
When I do presentations on the non-icky marketing funnel, I have the world's most boring slide. It's a white field with a big gray blob in it. And what I'm representing here is this is the view of the world that your customer is seeing. The average consumer is exposed to between 6,000 and 10,000 marketing messages a day.
Eek.
It's just noise. However, something is going to happen in their life. The car breaks down, the washing machine breaks, the kids run out of milk. Something is going to happen that stimulates, brings this problem to the surface, and suddenly they'll see the marketing. All the marketing in the world, the best marketing in the world, is not going to change a consumer's need state.
Right.
But if you know what that need state is at that top of the funnel awareness phase, and you craft your marketing to be there when they are ready, they will see it.
So
you want to follow through on the journey. What the next phase is consideration, where they're doing research on, and then it's prospecting, and then it's decision. And they go through this process, whether it's a long and involved multi-day exercise, or even if they're standing in an aisle in a grocery store. They're still going to go through this process. Sometimes it'll be very fast, but they'll go through this process. They'll be walking in the grocery store. They'll go, I think I need cereal. They'll look down the cereal aisle. What are the options? And then go into consideration. What are the options that I've used in the past? Then they'll walk into the aisle. Well, I typically buy this brand, but I'm also thinking about this brand. Now they're prospecting. Then what is it that causes them to make the purchase decision? They go through the same process, whether it's a large, involved purchase or a small, quick purchase. You want to craft your marketing so that it resonates with the journey that your buyers are on.
Okay. Excellent. One of the things that I'm hearing that I think I just want to emphasize before we wrap up is I think what a lot of people do is they think they're supposed to be convincing someone to buy.
Right.
But they're not. They're supposed to be creating awareness and credibility and trust so that when someone has that need, when they're in that stage, they think of your company. They think of the one who's speaking in that way. So
you want the purchase to be the next logical step in their journey.
Right. Yep, exactly right.
Not something that they've been tricked into doing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, wow. Well, thank you so much for this. Will you tell the listeners how they can find you, please?
I love talking to folks. My wife gives me a hard time all the time about this because this is supposed to be my semi-retirement. And she's like, what part of working from 8 in the morning until 6 at night is semi-retired? Mm-hmm. I've been doing this for a long, long time. I always can provide some value to folks. If they go to vipchatwithjames.com, they can get a few minutes on my calendar and I'll be happy to talk to them about their business, about their marketing, and the sorts of things that they can do to improve what they're trying to accomplish.
Excellent. Thank you. And listeners, thank you. You are who we're doing this for. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Accelerate Your Business Growth, a production of Evergreen Podcasts. Discover more episodes of this podcast and explore others at evergreenpodcast.com. As always, continue to prosper and be curious. And if you're looking to get your sales strategy headed in the right direction, pick up a copy of Succeed Without Selling on Amazon or wherever books are sold. Until we meet again on another episode of Accelerate Your Business Growth, goodbye and good day.
Do you love news about LinkedIn, Indeed, Google, and just about every other recruitment tech company out there?
Hell yeah. I'm Chad.
I'm Cheese.
We're the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
All the latest recruiting news and insights are on our show.
Dripping in snark and attitude.
Subscribe today wherever you listen to your podcasts.
We out.